Welcome back to the wrench bench. We're going to be putting on the upper bridge and the front shock tower as our next steps. We're about, I don't know, midway through bag 7. We're going to start off with the bridge, which just goes right on there. You'll see there's 4 holes up front. At the very front of the car, we're using 2 of these, I believe they're 12mm screws, and then in the second set of holes back are where the set screws go down to just help position the anti-roll bar that we just installed. So we're going to go ahead and do that. My wrench bench is in the basement of my home, along where I live, along with my family and animals. So if you hear clicky clack running around upstairs, it's just our little dog running around. I have not invested in any kind of soundproof studio. This is an authentic experience. All right, I'm just gonna get the set screws started. I'm gonna come back to those in just a couple minutes. Just want to get them in. So there's those. And then these longer 16mm screws go at the back of the bridge here. Try to be careful to not over tighten on plastics, especially on the initial build. You know, I think most of the premium RC manufacturers have figured out the plastics and composites and how to make them durable and strong. Yet at the same time, it is possible to strip them out. So on that first build, usually I just snug them up. And then later on, you know, before the first time I have the kit out, I'll just go around and double check to make sure that nothing's obviously loose. All right, on these small set screws that come down onto the anti-roll bar, you just want to have that down so that it's not allowing up and down motion with the roll bar, but still a little bit of still freely move side to side. And that thing is really going down there. All right. So I can feel that just barely beginning to touch the set screw. Still will move back and forth, not really up and down, so that's where we're going to get the right action there. And everything moves very freely, so that's great. Shock tower is going to go on next. Just note the orientation when you install it, that these, what are they called? Not cap head screws. Flat head screws, I can't remember. Anyway, it's recessed on the front, so the screws will sit flush. And the 4 screws that you use are all 12mm, which is handy. You don't have to worry about different sizes. So we're gonna go ahead and get that going. I'm excited to have the front shocks mount on the back side of the shock tower, and that a shock guard is included with the kit. It was the one thing that drove me nuts about my 23 was this big, ugly TPU 3D printed shock guard that I had to run on the front of the car. It drove me nuts just how it looked. I don't know that there's a big change in performance with having the shocks mount behind the tower, but at least I don't have to run that big, ugly shock guard. After the shock tower goes on, we'll be mounting the shocks. We'll do that in a separate video. I'm finding that the shorter length videos are just a little easier to manage with uploading, and I don't really do much editing, but it's much easier to work with a shorter video. If anybody out there who's been watching has a preference for longer form videos or shorter videos, and drop it in the comments. It's nice to see a couple of folks have subscribed, so thank you for doing that. Give me the thumbs up if you're enjoying the channel so far. All right, so our front shock tower is on. We'll be mounting the front shocks here next.